Welcome back, all my 40K fanatics out there. I'm DJ here at Tim's Nation, giving you the preview of my list that I will be bringing against Lane today and his Imperial Knights. It's going to be a debut for Lane's Imperial Knights on the channel, so I'm really looking forward to seeing them. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do, and turn on the bell for notifications so you get notified on all of the videos in this series and the rest of the games that we're putting out. This is one of the longer battle reports that we do, where we'll go over some of the turn bases as well as our armies, etc., etc. And then later this week, I might be getting another game with Brian, if everything goes according, where I'll do like I did last time, where it's just kind of the end and a recap and some quicker battle reports to keep getting content out here. So we're going to be going to the Columbus GT here soon, and I really think I'm going to be playing Grey Knights there. I really like what they can do, the way they can play the secondary game, and Lane was courteous enough to bring the Imperial Knights, since they are definitely a hot hand in the meta, and be able to see what I can do against them and the towering effects. With that being said, let's jump over to my list I'll be bringing today. All right, so here's my Grey Knights. A little bit of changes from what we saw before and what I ran last time, but some stuff is going to be similar and the same. Starting off with some of my vehicles, I do have the Land Raider coming back for another round. Lane and his Votann were able to pick this up really easily. I kind of let that happen, where I kept the Dread Knight alive with my Armor of Contempt True Silver armor strat. And I still like the damage output this thing can put. It's still a very strong threat, and especially in the Imperial Knight matchup, this is going to give me some more damage on the field to try to hurt these knights. And this is going to be kind of the benchmark on whether I keep the Land Raider in or not, is how it does against the Knights. With their towering effect, this thing's going to be really difficult, if not impossible, to hide. So, yeah, this is going to be where the decision is made on if the Land Raider stays or not. So then also, the new addition coming in for this time is my little Venerable Dreadnought. This little guy actually could hide pretty well, and he's got a better las cannon with the strength of 12. So hopefully, this guy can do a little bit of damage and be able to maybe pick up some of these vehicles and pick up some armigers to be able to put a little bit more firepower down with the twin link las cannon to get these things off the field, because the rest of my army really does lack high strength, high damage output to be able to take down some of these vehicles. And last in the vehicle comment is a regular Nemesis Dreadnought, not Dread Knight, not a Grandmaster. I like the regular Dread Knights because of the fact that they can advance and charge or shoot, as well as fall back and still shoot and charge. So I think that gives it a little more flexibility, all in all, and he's a little bit cheaper. This Dread Knight is coming with a Gatling silencer, as well as the heavy psi cannon, and a hammer, because that hammer is awesome on the tank shock and did really, really well into the Hecatons last time. All right, moving over into my infantry. Got to stop saying troops, because we don't have really troops anymore. So into my infantry, I have two 5-man squads of the Interceptors. Both of these are going to have a single psi cannon in them. I like their Fire and Fade psychic power, so I can shoot and then continue moving. And this also plays into my concept of trying to really play a strong secondary game. Next up is my strike squads. I took a second one this time because I really liked what they could do, being able to sticky objectives and get out of there. I felt like having a second one would be ideal for it. We'll see how that plays out. I definitely like having at least one of these guys. We'll see if the second one gives me the extra, or is it just too much? Am I tripping all over myself with the intent around what the strike are going to do? Both of those also have a single psi cannon. Next up is my Terminators. So my Terminators are going to be led by a Grandmaster. The Terminators have an Apothecary, a Banner, a psi cannon, and the Grandmaster has a psi cannon. He also has the Sigil. So if I get shot at, I can pick these guys up and get them out of the way so they don't die, so I can have them into the later rounds after I've whittled away some of my opponent's effects. Then the Terminators can really be bulky and start getting into my opponent's face. And last up is going to be my 10-man Purifier squad. So in this matchup, these guys are not going to do a whole heck of a lot except be a 10-man squad of guys. They're led by Castellan Crowe, which once again, that's not going to give me a whole lot to the overall damage category going into this matchup. since these guys are heavily anti-infantry. There are 4 incinerators in here, so it just makes things worse when going into Imperial Knights and any type of tank for that matter. These guys are there to be able to be my infantry cleanup agents. So in this matchup, they're just going to be a larger bricked unit to teleport around the field with all the abilities and strats that Grey Knights bring to the table to try to get objectives, score secondaries, and just be more bodies on those missions moving forward. So that's my Grey Knight list. Again, I'm playing a lot on the tactical side of things with the random objectives and being able to bounce around the field. I'm not really giving up any of the secondaries, so my opponent should not be able to just pick set objectives going against me. So they should be able to, they should have to draw as well. With my speed and overall maneuverability, as well as the 2-up saves that are all over my army, everything's a 2-up save. That puts me in a position where I feel like I can play the secondary game really, really, really strong and try to outscore my opponent on that column and hit primaries when I'm able to. So that's at least the plan. We'll give it a try. Again, I'll be facing off into Imperial Knights, which are a top contender in the meta. So if this goes horribly wrong, might need to go back to the drawing board on this one or switch over to Necrons. Who knows? But I think this is going to be definitely a matchup that's really going to tell me what I'm going to be doing for Columbus and how I'll play this list. So guys, look forward to seeing you over there, and we'll talk to you again soon.